definitely a mature man, far from a boy, because a boy means a servant. So I'm a man, but I do watch cartoons, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't care how old you are, how young you are. It's knowledge in those cartoons. I mean, you got to think those cartoons are written by like master occultists, like Walt Disney, Dr. Seuss, and all them. These guys were like occultists, and people don't realize that when they let their children watch these cartoons. I mean, you know, you guys, a lot of you people out there are like religious and stuff like that. So you really feel like the occult is devil worship and things like that, but then you'll go pay top dollar to let your children go watch various different cartoons and things like that. Instead of just educating them into the occult and letting them know, okay, this is this and that's that. Like, this is your left hand and this is your right hand. Instead of saying that, you know, just identifying things for your children and letting them decide. You know, you try to control things and say, you can't watch this because that's got devil. Or you can't watch that Harry Potter because Harry Potter, that's demonic. The cartoons got jewels in them. I was watching this this Avatar episode. And in this episode, he was talking about the Avatar. And they were saying that the Avatar doesn't choose a side. The Avatar simply balances energy. And this is what people don't seem to get about the type of metaphysics that I demonstrate and that other people out there demonstrate. Is more science is what it really is. See, people don't understand in this more science, it's not, there is no right and there is no left. There is no red and there is no blue. It depends on the day and the situation. Energies change. Energy is always changing. Energy is like numbers. Just like as I record this video, the numbers are going up. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. So it's always constantly changing. Anything that's alive is changing. So how can I get stuck? And you're not going to put me in a box. See, like, this type of metaphysics is past religion. And the thing about religion is deep, because religion, it has been ingrained into your culture. Everything about your culture is predicated upon religion. Your banking, what you do at your job, they use religion to control the scenario. Religious programming. Religion basically means to do something in some context. I mean, it has a lot of different meanings, but on one level, religion, or to do something religiously, means to do something over and over again. And what they do, and the people that construct the Matrix, the architects and the script writers in the Matrix, they watch your habits and they find out what you're religious about. And what they do is that they'll create an environment predicated upon your religious habits to control you. Because in order to control someone, you need to put them in an environment. That's the only way you can't control someone if you don't have them if you can't control their environment. This is why when humans try to control nature and they go and knock down trees and shit and they run the animals somewhere else, they try to control that environment. So I'm serious about this occult shit. So really, basically, what I want to build on this episode is I want to talk about spiritual gangsters. Because like in astrology, everything is in your natal chart. Everything is in your natal chart. And it's not up to you. You can't tell a person what they should be or what they shouldn't be. See, a spiritual master only helps to guide a person on the path that they're already on. This is why the Egyptians, they worship Thoth as God. Like, Thoth was like God to them. Like when we say God or whatever your concept of God is to them, Thoth or Tahuti or Hermes, some people call him, he was God. Really, Hermes was actually a student of Thoth, though, actually. But so Thoth was God, or Tahuti is God. And in that, Tahuti, if you study him, he doesn't really have a path. Someone that takes the path of a Tahuti or a Thoth doesn't have a path, so it looks like they're just blowing in the wind, happy-go-lucky, easily controlled, passive. But a Tahuti comes in and they balance, or they guide a person into the path that they were already on to help them to better walk that path. So say, for instance, a gangster still needs knowledge and wisdom. There is a place for a gangster in this society. See, what's happening with this society, especially, mainly in the spiritual community, though, mainly, is that this whole spirituality movement is getting big, but then you got mostly females, and I gotta say this, Because I mean, the females they trying to boss up and shit. They trying to woke up. So you got like mostly females that are trying to eradicate and wipe out strong, domineering men that have that iron fist. So they want to wipe out types of men like us and replace those type of men with men that are more like clones and knockoffs of what a real version of a man is. See, the concept of a man is even changing. That's why you hear they want to make men into boys. That's why you see in all these different songs people talking about some they boys and we them boys and all that. And I ain't dissing nobody, but I'm just saying, like, you not, if you a boy, you a servant. That's what that means. So if you a man means a thinker. Manu was a thinker. So in that, if you a thinker, that means you have control over your reality. That means you take full responsibility for the things that happen to you. You are on your own path. So you are, in order to be a man, you have to be independent. And in that sense, this society is set up in such a way to where strong men are vilified. They're going to make you into a gangster. You're like, why are you talking about being a gangster? And that's just lower dimensional stuff. Just focus on the high stuff. And man, we in this body, we in this world. We in this manifest. That's what we call it. In the ADAP chamber. You're in the realm of where things are made manifest. So you're in the realm of you walking down a path of experience. You came here to experience something. You signed a contract before you incarnated and you decided that you wanted to experience something. And nobody can tell you how to experience it. You have to, the thing is you got to remember is in your experience, you have to be willing to deal with the consequences, positive or negative. As long as you are willing to deal with the consequences, positive or negative, then you are free to walk your journey the way that you see fit. Because gangsterism and materialism and people that are out for money and all of that stuff is in the natal chart. And you can shift your natal chart and make it work the way you want to work and things like that. But then you have something that's called karma too, though. I'm going to talk a lot about karma in another video, but when you think about karma, see, karma kind of like puts you into a situation to where you have to work out certain blockages and certain energetic blockages a certain kind of way. So some people have deep karma. Some people got karma to where they constantly stay getting in car accidents, for instance. And you got another person out there that's like, I've never even been in a car accident before, but then you might have one person that almost lost their life 3 different times in a car accident. Why is that? This is because you in a past life, so you guys don't believe in past life. You can't really look at your natal chart and understand it if you're not willing to accept the fact that you had a past life. If you don't believe in past lives, then maybe you should wait to get a natal chart until you can really research that thing and figure out about reincarnation and coming back over and over again so you can kind of understand your natal chart a lot better, because who you are, your solar blueprint, your karma is predicated upon what you programmed into your soul, your solar makeup in previous lives. So a person that's prone to getting into accidents, that's karmic. A person that, say for instance, Frank Lucas. Let's talk about Frank Lucas. When you watch the story of Frank Lucas, sure he could have became